Hello, everyone. Look who's here. We've got sweet little baby here. And I just want to record a really quick intro to this next video, which is one that I've been waiting to do for months and months, since the beginning of the year. It's taken me 2 weeks just to record this intro. I just wanted to quickly introduce you to Dan Doyle. And please, guys, stick around for this, because honestly, it will be a life-changing video for you. It's not a very long video, but when you hear Dan's story and how he turned his life around, basically from poverty and near death to complete abundance and absolute wonderful health, you will be astounded and you will learn a lot. But I just want to say, stick around, watch this video, and say hi to Cookie. This is my new baby. Bye. Hello, everyone. This is JC Kay, and it's been a while since I've talked about this stuff, the Life Force Elixir, but it's not something that I've avoided in any way. But there is a special person that I've been wanting to introduce you to. This man is one of the top people in ASEA. This is a brilliant company that I've been affiliated with for a long time. And this is a wonderful man named Dan Doyle, and he is a triple diamond executive. I'm going to get him on the screen right now. How are you, Dan? Triple diamond. Hello. We met in February of this year. We kept meaning to catch up and talk, because I absolutely love you. I love your energy. And when I got to meet you in real life, I got to see this genuine, beautiful, inspirational soul that really loves to connect to people and genuinely, look them in the eye and talk to them. And I've heard your story quite a few times. You've probably told your life story 1,000 and maybe 50,000 times all over the world. But I wanted to invite you on here, and you've been generous enough to, in the middle of, flying out, to tell me all about, and tell my audience all about your story, and how your whole life turned around. But before we do that, everybody, I just want to say that we've got to make a disclaimer, because we are going to be discussing a particular product on this video, and we can't make any medical claims with this product. We can't make any medical claims, any conclusions in this video, and the product that we're discussing here is not designed to treat, diagnose, or cure, or prevent any medical disease or condition. But having said all of that, let's just talk about life inspiration and learning from other people's dramatic stories from their lives. So, Dan.
JC. Wow, Life Force Elixir. I love it. There's people that call this so many different things, and I've never heard that one before. It's probably things that are close to it. And obviously the other thing is it's distributed through a business model, which a lot of people sort of don't, gel with. And I'll be honest with you, if I go back 12 years ago, it didn't gel with me either. Which is network marketing. We don't call that anymore. I've actually adopted a business model or a purpose-filled mission, and we call it the 5D economy. We're building the 5-dimensional economy. It's bigger than us and the universe. And that's all about becoming abundant by helping others to become abundant.
I call it that too, because I was just saying this is before I knew that this is what they're calling it. It is definitely it's a people economy. It's putting the business model back in the people's hands and allowing them to share. So, yeah. Anyway, tell us your story, Dan. I'll let you talk, and I'll keep my mouth shut.
All right. If you don't mind, I'll share screen, and hopefully I don't have any technical challenges. So I've just had my 9-year anniversary with being on the product. So it's been a while now. This is my 10th year being involved with this company. I sit on the Global Advisory Council, which has been about 6 years now, heavily involved in helping the decision to make decisions for us guys in the field that are out there helping people with this incredible breakthrough. The word ASEA, it's not an acronym for anything. It comes from a Latin word which means back to the sea. ASEA is a biotech company based in Salt Lake City, Utah, cellular health company, and they have come up with nothing less than the biggest breakthrough in 3 areas: in health, anti-aging, and human performance. Probably not just the biggest breakthrough in those 3 areas in our lifetime, but literally of all time, because what we're going to talk about is totally foundational to our health. So just on my story, I mean, there's many reasons why people look at this. You went through the company disclaimer. For me, it was a health challenge, 2 major problems that I had. A lot of people look at this for obviously their own health, the health of a loved one. People are looking for more energy, better sleep, clearer thinking. People are looking just for that edge to get through life, longevity. People don't like the way they're looking or feeling as they're getting older. Athletes, anti-aging. I mean, this can help so many people in so many different ways. And there's an amazing, incredible opportunity behind the breakthrough, which finally, after 5 months after starting on the product, I adopted and I started leveraging, only for the fact that, and you'll hear it in my story, we went from being healthy to losing my health to regaining my health. And the process of doing that, we went from being financially healthy to losing everything financially and then bringing it back through this incredible breakthrough and having the ability to share it with others, to receive thank you checks. And that helped me to invest back into buying more products for my own health. I grew up in Sydney. I grew up in Sydney in Australia. I know you've got people from all around the world. I was very geographically challenged. I didn't know too much about where anything was around the world until I started traveling. And it was only thanks to this opportunity that I was able to do that. But going back, I couldn't stand school. I never did my homework. I distracted myself from playing many sports. Rugby league for 12 years. I did judo, gymnastics, aerobics, surfing. And I started picking up weights at the age of 13. And by the age of 19, I was competing. And by the age of 24 here, I was coming to the end of my bodybuilding career back in the early 90s, 1992. So this was my life. My life was in the health and fitness industry. I had not only dropped out of school, got a job in one of the big 4 banks in Australia, worked out that I didn't want to exchange time for money anymore, but I wanted to go into traditional business and build and create traditional business, which I ended up doing. And I was very passionate about that, as I was with my sports. And when you're passionate about something, you tend to be good at it and you tend to excel at what you do. So I became very good at building and selling traditional businesses. The health and fitness industry was the first industry that I built businesses in, and then moved to the security industry, construction industry, hospitality industry. So over a 20-year period from the age 24 to 44, I had built 20 traditional businesses between Sydney, Central Coast, Newcastle, and I'd employed about 3,500 people throughout that period of time. So let's fast forward from 24 to 44, keeping in mind I'm not a bodybuilder anymore. This is me doing a lot more cardiovascular work, steppers, treadmills, bikes, and not lifting heavy weights. So I'm actually 56 in a few weeks, and I'm pretty well in this shape.
You still look amazing. Sorry.
I know.
Nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, I mean, you know how it is. We you learn, and especially when you been through a health challenge, which I'm leading up to now, you learn how to look after yourself from a holistic point of view. So, and I mean, this is what we talk about these days. We've got an incredible foundational based product with this ASEA, these Redox signaling molecules, but coming in holistically, fasting, nutrition, food plan, exercise, sleep, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. We know you need to come in from every angle. So what it was for me always, JC, so back then in the day and even now, I look at myself now and think, okay, well, this is what I need to do to my body. This is what I need to put in today to have the results in 10 years' time. And then I move into tomorrow and I do the same, exactly what I want to look like and feel like in 10 years' time. I'm consistently working on that all day, every day. So here I am thinking the same thing, but unfortunately, I didn't know I had two major issues here in this photo that the doctors told me about 6 months later. And I was given some really bad news. So this is me on the right-hand side. I started going through 2.5 years of hospital visits. And as people can see on this recording, I've got no hair from the top of my head to my toes. What I went through, I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. It was literally the worst thing I've ever been through in my entire life. I don't mention this much, but I literally wanted to drink myself to death, alcohol, through this period of time. I didn't want to be around anymore because I just didn't feel good. And what they were doing to me was killing me in so many ways, and I just didn't want to be around. This is a young friend of mine, Johnny Manor. He played the highest levels of rugby league in Australia, fit and healthy guy until he was given some bad news. Went through what I started going through here, lost all his hair, lost a lot of weight. He came back. He went into remission, and he was back playing the highest levels of rugby league in Australia. As a matter of fact, for my favourite team, Parramatta Eels. And unfortunately for Johnny, after this photo was taken, his issue came back, went back into hospital, started losing all his hair again, lost a lot of weight. He never came out. We lost him at the age of 23.
Yeah.
So that got me thinking, I'm twice his age, half as fit. He had what the doctors considered to be the good one. I had two of the bad ones. What was going to happen to my health moving forward? So I questioned some doctors in regards to what they were putting me through, and they literally told me to get my affairs in order. Now, when you grow up in Sydney and if you were sick, your parents took you to the doctors, you'd have a couple of pills, and then all of a sudden you're well. That's the way you're conditioned, and that's how your mindset was. I thought I was going to be okay. I really did. And I was very angry when he told me to get my affairs in order. So I knew at that point I had to literally change my mindset from conventional medicine, which did their best, and the result that I had wasn't going to be the result I wanted, to things that I didn't believe in, which were naturopaths and homeopaths and chiropractors. I thought all those things were quackery. So I had to totally, literally retrain myself, get some knowledge, and check out these other things, because I wanted to do things to my body to get it moving in the right direction. So the first thing that I found was an alkaline diet. I knew that what I was going through, couldn't survive in an alkaline state, totally changed my diet, became a pescatarian, deep sea fish, organic vegetables and salads, totally cleaned everything up. A lot of people came out of the woodwork, as they do, with products that were being sold through the network marketing industry. And for me, if you came to me 10, 12, 13, 14 years ago with a product that was sold through the network marketing industry, I would have never spoken to you ever again in my life. So it was just a business model that I didn't believe in. I didn't understand it. And, you don't know what you don't know. So highly recommend now I know, to educate yourself or to be fully informed before you make a decision about anything at all. Anyway, everyone's throwing these products at me. I mean, you name it: super juices, antioxidants, alkaline water, nutritional supplements. And I religiously took these things for 2 years. I was on that clean diet for 2 years. And you can see what I look like here. But 2 years on that diet, I probably looked 20 or 30 years older than what I did last photo. So nothing was working 2 years later.
Wow.
This here is October 2014.
Right.
So Bart Cotter reaches out to me, a friend of mine, and all he said on the phone was, Bart,
yeah,
he said, I think I found something that can help. I said, okay, well, what do I have to do? He said, you need to come to Salt Lake City, US. I go over there. And the great thing was a few things, because I was involved in something else with him prior, did well with that company. Thank God the company ASEA paid for my trip to Salt Lake to check this out. Also paying for our product while we were there, paid for all our food, accommodation. They were fantastic, incredible company. I started on the product. Now, didn't understand what it was, but I knew from what they told me it couldn't do me any harm, non-toxic, couldn't harm a newborn baby. Great. Could have health benefits, even better again. So here I am, I start on this product, and literally immediately, 3 hours, I broke out with all these spots on my upper torso, not really putting two and two together at the time, but it was just rubbish coming out of my skin. Couldn't wait till I went to the toilet. We weren't drinking enough water to flush things out. So there are a few lessons learned, but hey, it was working. It started working immediately. 12 hours later, literally overnight, the next morning, 20-year stomach issue had gone away. I had a caffeine intolerance, literally for 20 years. Any more than 2 coffees, I'd be buckled over all day. Bloating and discomfort, all gone by the next morning. I had 6 coffees without any problems. The light bulb went on about the 3rd day. What happened was, with what they put me through in that hospital, they did something to me that damaged all my lungs. So I had trouble breathing and talking at the same time. 3 days on the product, my lungs were functioning perfect. So wow. I had plenty of belief in 3 days. Went back to Australia, got to Sydney. Do you think I kept drinking the product?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I didn't stop. The problem was, though, JC, at that time, we had gone from being successful in traditional business, going through 2.5 years of those hospital visits, losing everything financially, to moving into my parents' granny flat in their backyard, wow. Going bankrupt, borrowing $25,000 to actually buy a van to live on the road. We couldn't afford rent, but to try and see a little bit of Australia while I was still here, because we were thinking worst case. So we did that. It wasn't very comfortable. I mean, you're an expert at social media and everything you do. So just imagine that we were in this van trying to make it look fluffy and nice and good on social media through Facebook and everything. But it was tough. We were struggling to put food on the table. We were living on a disability pension. And to buy the product and double ship into Australia, it wasn't there at that stage. It wasn't approved. It was tough finding the money to do that. But we did. It was just the maintenance amount of product, which was just a bottle a week, knowing that I needed to take a lot more product for what I was going through. But we persisted on that. And what happened over an 8-month period, when I was getting my blood works checked, the doctors saw improvements. So there were things happening that were improving, and that was a great sign. And halfway through 2015, which was 8 months on the product, because I actually shared this with some people and the company sent me thank you checks, I invested those thank you checks into more product, took more product, drank more of these molecules, found the damage in my body, and my body knew where the problems were. And long story short, literally just over a year on the product, this is a photo of me the day that I got the news. There was no sign of those 2 major challenges.
Incredible. Look at the color in just everything has changed, vibrant. Your eyes are different. Incredible.
But not only that, but multiple injuries from playing sports that were turning to that crippling issue as I was getting older, having trouble getting out of bed at the age of 44, 45, 46, because my body was so broken from so many injuries, neck, shoulder, hand, hips, back, pelvis, 20 years of pollen problems, sneezing, runny nose. You name it. I had a huge list, and you don't think of these lists and what you're going through, probably because you sort of get into your 40s and think, well, this is just normal. This is just normal part of getting older. That's just the way it goes. And if you look at this little journey from back to health here, my whole body rebuilt, 2 years later, 3 years on the product, you can see why it's the biggest breakthrough in anti-aging as well, just looking younger again as time went on. And hopefully, now you can see me live here, talking about 9 years on the product now. And we just feel fantastic. Our skin's incredible. Everything on the inside's working great. 4 years, for 4 years, I didn't see anybody in Australia in regards to monitoring me. I did take that up here in Honolulu, here in Hawaii, with somebody that I do see every 6 months. And he only told me 2 days ago, he said, I only want to see you every year now. They can't believe that I've got my health, let alone full health. And the other thing is that, and I say to them, can you please check anything else that doesn't look right so I can actually work on that particular thing or those areas? Because you don't want to be having too many cakes or ice cream or chocolates or anything like that.
Yeah.
And he said, I can't, because there's nothing wrong. Everything's absolutely perfect. So, yeah, that was my little journey back to health, back to looking younger and feeling younger. Obviously, there's a massive story in regards to bringing the lifestyle back, and what the 5D economy has done for us with sharing this with others. But back to you before we get into that.
Yeah, well, look, I was actually I've heard your story before, and actually started tearing up when you were telling that story, because that desperation that you felt, I have heard from my audience. I'm very close to thousands of people all around the world. I read these emails from people, and they're on the brink, and they want to give up. I have gifted this product to so many people all over the world, and they're still here with us today because of just regularly partaking in that, and also just having that with them, and beginning something new for them, or giving them hope. But your story is like this. I mean, have you thought of writing a book? Because from up and down and up and down, but you're reverse aging. I saw you in real life, couldn't believe it. When you meet someone in face to face, it's different than Zoom and seeing videos. When you meet someone face to face, there's a vibrancy in you that is so palpable and real and genuine, and it sort of jumps out at you. You don't want to stop talking to you because you've just got such a beautiful energy. But tell us, how did you lost everything, and I can't imagine. I mean, these are the things that a lot of people are afraid of at this moment, of losing it all, or they probably have experienced that at the moment with what's happening in the economy. How did you then turn it all around? Because you literally went from, you've had a second chance at life. You're taking this product. What did you do then? How did you reverse all of this?
Yeah, just in regards to financially, can you imagine, having the ability to go to a different restaurant every night if you wanted to losing your health? The only time that I had trouble getting up from my hands and knees again, so just imagine, I never had anybody to teach, train, or mentor me in traditional business. Sometimes I would be down on my knees thinking, oh my God, what have I done here? I need to do this, that, and the other. Get up and run again. No problem. You lose your health, that's a different story. You're on your hands and knees and you can't get up. You can't run again. There's nothing there. And this is where you feel defeated. So health coming back and regaining that and getting that energy. And as you know, we sort of look at people now, we know who is on this product and who's not on the product, really. You got that vibrations right up here with what it's doing. So for me, once I started getting my health back and I had the ability to stand up again and run and talk to people, and I had that energy, and, just starting to share my story, because, obviously that's what we do. We share our stories, and then people understand the impact it has on an individual. But I'm not a one-off story, as you know, and you've seen. No. You see miracles happening every day, all day. That's what we see, which is amazing. So I think, all I did is starting, just help people. Obviously, we've got a business model here where it's something that people need to take seriously and build it, not like a hobby and sitting back and not doing much. I mean, I don't miss anybody in a shopping center or, sitting on next to them on a train or a bus or a plane, because I might look at them and go, well, you look okay. But I'm thinking in the back of my mind, what's the health of your mum like, or your dad like, or your sister, or someone who's in serious trouble? So I'll never miss somebody like that. I reach out to absolutely everybody. I ran traditional businesses and built them for years. I built them like a business. If they were hobbies, I'd go broke. You got to work 9 to 5 job, and nothing against that, but you go to work and you do nothing, you're going to get the sack. So we've got the ability with this platform, this business model, which we call the 5D economy, the 5-dimensional economy, where, as I said, we're helping ourselves and creating that abundance and becoming abundant by what the company teaches, which is just helping others to do the same. So we're helping people to help people. And the more we do that, the people that actually spread this and talk about it the most. And the great thing is, JC, as you know, we don't have to sell this. This sells itself.
It does. Yeah.
Scientifically impossible not to work. It goes in and knows what to do because it's actually part of our body. It's actually what's in our. So that just sells itself. It's getting people on the right product plan. It's supporting those people. It's not saying, hey, JC, you take the product, hopefully it works, good luck, see you later.
Yeah.
It's we've literally got, a job description here. And that's helping and supporting people, putting them on the product plan, making sure they're getting results. And if they want to share this, if they want to build a business, if they want to get those thank you checks, we also support them to do that as well and show them how to build it like it is a business. I mean, the network marketing industry and this business model, which we call the 5D economy now, it's taught in every single university in America. This is a profession. And from my experience with everything that I've done, including corporate for Westpac for many years before I went into traditional business, I've never seen anything more compelling. I've never seen leverage like it. We can only earn, as far as an individual, by going to work 9 to 5, getting paid for our time. But we can actually build this into 33 now, nearly 34 markets right around the world, with anybody that we know tapping into 5 billion people out of the 8 billion in those markets, and literally build a global business overnight because of the power and leverage of the business model behind the breakthrough.
Yeah. And it's a very, because we've got both hands tied behind our backs with the way we talk about the product, it's kind of has to be at the human face-to-face level rather than on the shelves. Do you know what I'm talking about? People always ask me, well, why don't they just sell it in the stores? Why is this hidden, or why is this not being talked about? This is why I do this, everybody. I use my platform. I found this product out. I don't know if you know this, Dan. So when I started my channel in 2020, I because I'm psychic, but I was also doing this astral journeying, and I saw this in an astral journey being given this molecule. This is before I knew anything about ASEA. I was given this molecule, and they told me it was the fountain of youth, and it was a mixture of seawater, like a saline thing, and ormus, which is kind of like these elements from, the ocean. Okay, ormus. And I put it in my mouth. This is in this journey that I went on, this astral journey. And they said this is what was reverse aging people, and it was a technology from higher dimensions. And then I end up, meeting Anna from ASEA, and she's an audience member. She goes, I know what you're talking about. It's this. And I ignored it for a year. I thought, two-level marketing, get lost. Go away. Yeah. But she kept at it. She kept talking to me about it. And I just remembered, I thought she was a lovely lady, but I thought, yeah, sure. And then I finally looked at it again a year later, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I was talking about. This is this thing that I saw on this other dimension. And when I started, I thought to myself, I said, you know what? Let's just put the business side aside. I just want to share this. I just want to share it. I want to take it myself. Let me try it first. And then I want to share it with people. And that's what I did. Okay. And my audience has been amazing. And the feedback that I'm getting from the people that are using it. And if you had an account and you've let it lapse, or if you've just listen to Dan's story. I'm telling you, when I forget to take it, so I went through all these renovations and I forgot to take it, I crashed. Okay. What this is doing for me, I know I need to take a certain amount every day to be able to, because there's things going on in our bodies that we're not aware of, depending on what's exposed. You may not be on medication, etc., but there might be some things going on that Redox can assist with. But we can't, and you'll be able to feel that difference. But this is why I share it. This is basically why I share it. And that's the key for all of this that Dan's trying to explain, is that sharing it. Can you imagine if he didn't share his story? He just kept this a secret and he just sort of like hid it and just, went on with his life and survived something that, could have made him give up hope. This is why we share this and we use these platforms. And anyway, this is the other thing I wanted to ask you about is just in general, ASEA, they're a very ethical company, aren't they? You said you've worked for, you created all of these businesses. Is this, and I've heard this from Bart as well. He said, he was involved with all these other companies and he just said that there's nothing like them. The people at the top, the people who created the company are just very ethical, real, genuine people that care about the customers and care about their teams. Can you explain that, what you've witnessed yourself, having met them all?
No, thank you for asking, and thank you for helping with getting this to the world too, by the way.
Yeah, we have to.
So, I mean, if you go back literally just over 9 years ago when I met Bart in the headquarters of ASEA in Salt Lake City, you just imagine I'm there for my health, purely selfish, that's it. Took a friend with me who had skin problems from the top of his head to his toes. He came with me to Malcolm Sword. So we're there for our health. And Tyler Norton, which is Vertus Norton's son, founders of ASEA, Fortune 50 executives. I mean, just incredibly smart, strategic businessmen, just unbelievable. So just imagine we're in this boardroom, there's about 25, 30 of us. Tyler gets up and basically opens the meeting with, listen, guys, this business model may not suit some of you in this room. We don't want anybody involved in this business that has ego and economics above principles and purpose. That's how we opened the meeting. And I was like, wow, just blew my mind. And that did get you thinking. Obviously, I'm there for my health. Like, wow, who are these people? So obviously, this is where I tried and experienced a product and I had incredible results that gave me the belief just in those few days. But we've been through my story. What if we touch on what this is and why it's so powerful?
Yeah, can you explain that, please? What Redox is? People don't comprehend. They think it's a supplement. It's not. It's native to the human body.
Yeah,
there it is.
Absolutely. So
and
what's
it's not the ingredients. It's not the ingredients on the bottle.
Not the ingredients on the bottle, which is the reason why it couldn't go on a shelf in a retail situation, because people go, oh my God, it's only just salt and water. They wouldn't understand that it's not salt water anymore, but trillions and trillions of redox signaling molecules. And there's our topical gel. So if you come back to how the body heals itself and then come back to the product, people will sort of line there and understand why the breakthrough is so big. So quick science lesson, 100 trillion cells. In every single cell, we have mitochondria, which is the power plant of our cells. There's between 200 and 5,000 mitochondria in every single cell producing the energy for our cells. as that energy is being produced as a byproduct of energy production, what happens is there's a chemical reaction that takes place within our cells that changes the molecular structure of salt and water into these molecules called redox signaling molecules. So as you're sitting there and I'm standing here and people are listening to this, or the recording, inside your body there's trillions and trillions of these molecules made every single second, and they're used up and they've got a big job to do. Now, what is their job? Redox's job, and the word redox, by the way, comes from two words, reduction and oxidation. Once they're produced, they need to detect cells. So something I used to do in the old days, JC, is I used to say to everybody, clap your hands hard and tell me what you're thinking. So if you're hearing this recording, clap your hands hard and let me know what you're thinking or what you're feeling. You're feeling tingling sensation. So those tingling sensation, that's redox reactions, the signals and communication molecules that are signaling your immune system to the 1 billion damaged cells from clapping your hands. And they need to be repaired in the blink of an eye. We damage a lot of stuff just by clapping. Yeah. So the body needs to, so just say that you are a good cell and I'm one of those cells that have been damaged in a hand that's just been clapped. So JC looks across the room, which is the hand, to me and go, hey, Dan, you're not looking too well. Hey, JC, I'm not feeling well. Listen, I'm just going to three-way in the immune system. So literally through redox communication, you're signaling to the immune system to come down to detect me. Once I've been detected, the immune system takes over and either protects me if I'm good, repairs me if I need repair, or destroys and replaces me if I'm too far gone. Now, if I'm too far gone, and in this case, say I am, I'm destroyed. I leave the body as a toxin, and JC divides into two good cells and replaces me. And that's happening in the blink of an eye. Bang, 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 bang. So let's talk about antioxidants. A lot of people love antioxidants. They they get rid of the rubbish in our body, free radicals. But everybody that we talk to doesn't know that antioxidants are useless unless activated by redox molecules that we naturally produce. Wow. Big one. Redox also detects the bacteria virus infection in our bodies. Redox balances our 12 major systems. Redox turns on and turns off genes and opens up genetic pathways, removes all the oxidation and rusting to DNA level. Nothing happens in our body without redox. Totally foundational to our health. So the problem is we're losing about 10% on average every single decade. As a child, we got 100% production. For those with children, that's why they have so much energy. That's why they heal and recover super fast. Get to our 50s, we only have 50% production. Get to 70, we only have 10% production left. These things keeping us alive. These things keeping all our cells working at optimal level. So I normally ask a question here, and for anybody out there, and have a guess, how long would you live if you stopped producing redox right now? I'll just give them a few seconds there, JC. They're having a think about it. I can hear the minds ticking away. Some people say 10 years, some say 5, some say 2. Ask the question again, because don't forget, these things keep your cells working at optimal level. If every single living thing on the planet stopped producing redox right now, nothing would survive beyond 3 seconds.
Whoa.
Critical to life. Yeah.
Moving at the speed of light, these redox.
Yeah. And the problem is, if we go back, and you can't, but I can, if you go back 50 years ago to when I was a child, when I was 5, 6 years old, I was taking more toxins, or the toxins I was taking into my body over 1 year, we now take in every 15 minutes. 36,000 times more toxins per year into our body. And that needs to be expelled and dealt with super fast.
Hence the hydration. I keep telling people they have to hydrate. Very important to hydrate all the time, especially when you're taking you're topping up your redox. So we're essentially topping up redox. Children have lots of redox. That's why when they fall over, they jump back up again most of the time. Okay, lots of redox in children, but we are adding more and telling that we're giving the body more of what it needs, right? I'm aware of the time. Is there more that you would like to tell everybody to explain what redox is and how it could,
Yeah, so I mean, just basics. I mean, I could be, because I'm like you, we tell everybody. So
yeah.
if I'm on the 21st floor in an elevator and I got people in that elevator, and we call this an elevator pitch, but I could be on the beach, I could be anywhere. And I can get a conversation happening like that and say that, ask them what they do and where they're from, and they say, "Hey, what do you do? Where you're from?" "Oh, thanks for asking." So literally in 20 seconds, I let them know that I'm involved with a biotech company out of Salt Lake City that has come up with a product that has the exact same molecules that we produce naturally that we are lacking in, that finds the damage in our body and tells our body where the problem is. Now we can consume trillions of those molecules, put them back in the body, find the problem, tell the body where the problem is, so the body can go do what it does best, and that's heal itself.
Brilliant. Is this why it's such a hidden gem and not allowed to be on supermarket shelves? Because
Supermarket shelves just won't work, will it? I mean, you just will not know the power of it. It's the power of the stories which we're creating every day. Second breakthrough, you lifted this one up before, the RENU 28.
Love
JC.
it. Love it.
Amazing.
This was allowed in Australia first. This was the first product, and I think Dr. Dr. Silverman was talking about. I mean, he basically uses that to explain to people in 5 minutes. Show me where there's a pain in your body, puts it on, rubs it in, lets it dry, does another top up, and rates the person's pain. Rates the person's pain. This I use it more than anything. I put it. My daughter's got autism. We use it on her spine, so rub it up on the spine and up into the cell. The stem of her the back of her head, and that can go up into the brain. So and she loves it. She loves it when I put that on. Sore tummy, put it on. Fever, put it on.
If I could bath in that, I would. I mean, it's mind blowing. I mean, we've got 15 products foundationally. Redox. Someone comes to you and I and says, "Our product's better than yours." I say, "Well, no, your product doesn't work without ours." It's Redox that tells all that nutrition what to do.
That's why.
Foundation is the big one.
I keep thinking that to myself. I was just moved house and I had all these supplements, and I'm like, don't need them. Like, I've got all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like they won't work unless I have this. So nutrition is important. Fasting. I always am a big proponent of fasting. So fasting can kind of boost this in a way. Is that right? Would that work hand in hand?
I actually take it when I fast because there's no nutritional value. Because don't forget, when they change the molecular structure, we cannot include that in our water intake or salt intake because the molecular structure has been changed. So I do fast on that. I just finished a 7-day fast, lost 7 kilos or 15 pounds. We just traveled around Europe, and as we're traveling, we've just put a little bit on. I was feeling a little bit uncomfortable. I've done up to 21-day water fast. I mean, if someone's going to do a long fast, I highly recommend they're under medical supervision for sure. But the Redox makes it a lot easier to get through because it's targeting all sorts. So anywhere that I can get the Redox in or on, I'll do that for sure. Absolutely. So as a foundationally, I mean, there are a lot of health practitioners and doctors we're working with, and a lot of them just tell all their patients and clients, tell them. They don't ask them. They tell them to get on the product.
Fantastic.
And that's foundational. And everything that they do is over and above. And they say, well, this doesn't work without this. You need to be on the Redox first before I can do anything else for you.
I wish I could tell everyone about the stories that I've heard, but I am aware that this is going on to YouTube, and I just don't want to be shadow banned with this video, and I want to remain compliant. But if I do have a Telegram group and there are stories being shared there, there's also groups on Facebook that share these stories of what's happening with people, and they're just personal anecdotes in private groups. And, I have seen people come out of ICU because I've gifted them this during lockdown. I'll let you make your own conclusions to that. I've just, and in some cases they couldn't drink the product, so they were literally just slathering this over their chests.
Yeah.
And these are people in their 70s and 80s, and they were out in a few days. These are the sorts of things. I have another lovely audience member, Jody, who I gifted some. I sent some over to her in the US, and she couldn't even leave the house. She was having seizures so badly, and she said, within a month these were diminishing quite dramatically. So she then, started to buy the product. And for yourself, you were up to a bottle a day you were drinking during your darkest hours?
If I had the knowledge that I've got now, going back then, and I could afford it, it would have been at least a bottle a day.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
for sure. The more you saturate your body, the more issues it's going to be detected, the more things are going to be activated, the more things are going to be repaired, the more things are going to be rebuilt. So yeah, absolutely. But just to let you know, for 8.5 years, my wife, myself, my mum, my dad, we've all been on half a bottle a day.
Yes, that's how much I take. I tell when people say to me, "Oh, how much do you take?" Oh, I just and people say, "I take the 60 ml." I go, "I'm like drinking a cup in the morning and then another cup." That's about half a bottle.
The more you take, the quicker things happen. As I'm just so happy to be on this journey with you. For anybody who's listening to this, do yourself a big favor, get onto JC, get involved in whatever capacity, get on the product, look after your own health. You got the ability to share this with others and receive thank you checks. It's a lot bigger than that again. Obviously, this is a purpose-filled mission. Incredible things in the background besides us getting paid super well to help people from the company, not from your friends. There's trips and gifts and prizes and all sorts of things in the background.
They're a generous company.
All together and have a lot of fun.
Thank you. And thank you, Dan, for your generous time. I know you've got to go. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to put the links below. I am going to put Dan's link and my links below. And if you want to reach out to me or Dan, that's going to be fantastic. We've got it all there. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Dan. You're an angel.
I love and leave you. I've got to get to the airport.
I know.
But I could stay on for hours and hours with you. It's amazing.
Thank you. And I'm sure the Redox will help with any jet lag as well. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Or a hangover.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We love you. Thank you. Thanks, Dan. Bye, darling. Bye-bye.